Hello, if this is your first time on my channel, I am Amanda Merble, and it is truly a pleasure to have you here today. I want to say that love is a fascinating territory. In almost every other area of life, we tend to learn enormously from our personal experiences. We extract wisdom, we grow, we adapt. But love seems to be the one domain where even the sharpest minds suddenly stop functioning at their best. We stop using simple tools like reflecting on our own experiences and questioning what we already know from living. Today, I want to bring you one question, and I am asking you, please, to sit with it. The next time you are about to make a decision, take a step, or do anything related to that person who is currently keeping you up at night, I want you to pause before acting and ask yourself this question. It will genuinely change everything. I am not exaggerating when I say that. It really will shift things completely. And please, nobody write it in the comments before the video ends, because I will not approve those comments. I understand that when videos are long, some people lose patience. But this channel is not designed for people who want quick content. You can find that on other platforms. On TikTok, everything moves fast and loud. This is not a channel about firing information at you. I am not artificial intelligence, I am not a machine. I am a real person with genuine feelings, and I work with real people who have genuine feelings too. On this channel, I sincerely try to give you the very best of myself and the best insights from my coaching sessions. So if you do not have the patience to truly learn, this is not the place for you. But if it is, stay with me. The question is this: has there ever been a moment in your life when you regretted not valuing someone, or when you recalibrated how much a person meant to you? In other words, you were underestimating someone, not paying much attention to them, and then something happened and your feelings toward that person shifted. The way you saw them changed for the better. Has that ever happened to you? If so, what actions came before that shift on your part? Why did you start seeing that person differently? When did it happen? What did that person do that made you think, actually, I do like them more than I thought? Actually, they are more attractive to me than I realized. Actually, I would mind if they disappeared from my life. What were the actions that worked on you, that person used, which actually had an effect? My guess is that you will tell me it happened when that person cooled off a little, when they created some distance. Maybe they stopped reaching out as much, stopped giving you as much attention, and you did not know as much about what was going on in their life. Maybe they put you in your place at some point, or said something unexpected. Someone who had always said yes to everything and had always been there for you was suddenly just not as available. Maybe that person even started giving their attention to someone else. The time they used to dedicate to you, the compliments, the warmth, they started directing it elsewhere. If that resonates, those are the kinds of actions that created a change inside you. And why is that? Because if we really sit with this, it hits deep, and it can help us tremendously. Why is it that what works on you, what makes you start valuing someone more, is receiving less, or fearing that someone else is getting what you were getting, or seeing that person become more focused on their own life, more interesting, more put together, making their own plans and seeming genuinely happy doing so? Why, if those are the very things that work on you when it comes to reconsidering a situation or feeling moved to go after someone, why, when you find yourself in that exact same dynamic, do you not stop for even a moment and ask yourself, what actually works in my case? You do not ask that. Why? Because you are holding on to a version of reality that does not exist. You unconsciously interpret that the feeling you have for this person is mutual, and that there are hidden reasons why you two are not together yet. This does not happen consciously. It happens beneath the surface. So naturally, if you believe deep down that this person loves you but has not realized it yet, what do you feel you have to do? Be present. Remind them. Make them see it. Show them. Because if someone secretly cared for you, seeing how much love you offer would make them feel safe enough to open up. But that is simply not the situation. And so instead of doing what actually works, we always lean toward fear. Fear of giving any space. Fear of not being completely available. Fear of not being enthusiastic enough. Fear of missing an opportunity. And so any tiny chance to congratulate, to thank, to hover around this person, to compliment them, to accept every invitation, to always say yes, we take it. We do the complete opposite of what genuinely works on us. That is why I strongly encourage you, the next time you are in that position, where maybe you have not heard from this person in a while and you start missing them and feeling sad and not wanting to feel that way, you want to do something about it. Or maybe things were balanced between you two, and then this person slowly changed, became a little inconsistent, started pulling away. And you do not want to sit with how that feels. You are getting anxious, you do not feel chosen, you start feeling bad, the worry builds up. And so you think, I am going to give more, I am going to show up more, I am going to pretend this is not happening. Maybe I will just ask how they are doing. That is harmless. And actually, I have free time this weekend, and I just saw something that I think they would enjoy. What is wrong with suggesting it? Sometimes we even trick ourselves with thoughts like, I will propose this one thing, and if they say no, then I will step back and let them come to me. But what happens? You suggest something, they say no, and they are not going to be honest with you. They are not going to say, honestly, I am not that interested. I am talking to other people. I am waiting to see if something better comes along. You are being a bit much and it is putting me off. No. They are going to give you an excuse. They will say something like, I would absolutely love that. Sounds amazing. I genuinely want to, but unfortunately something has come up. And what do your hopeful, infatuated ears hear? They hear, see, they did want to, they were excited about it. What a shame they had something going on. As if when someone truly interests us, we do not rearrange our entire schedule for them. But you do not archive it as a rejection. You do not hold yourself to what you told yourself earlier. Time passes a little, the desire builds again, you want access to this person, and often you do not even stop to notice that you want them more precisely because they feel less available to you. Because the other person's unavailability is itself a trigger that pulls you closer. Here's the truth. You do not actually know how much you like someone. You only truly know how much you like a person when they reciprocate and things are balanced. Only then. Because when someone matches your energy and there is real equilibrium, you are getting to know that person without anxiety, as an equal, without strange bursts of intensity, without getting hooked on patterns. It is just you and them. The person who can make you fall for them is the one who sustains your emotions without overwhelming you with excessive attention to manufacture feelings, and without keeping you dangling by ignoring you just enough that you crave their validation. The person who is right alongside you, who you get to know gradually, day by day, whose attention grows steadily, where things flow between you naturally and without effort. When someone has you feeling genuinely excited in that environment, that is real. That is where you are actually falling for the person. When situations are unbalanced, when there is a clear imbalance of investment, you cannot know how much you like that person, because you might simply be enjoying the game, the pull of the pattern. You cannot help it. You are responding to a dynamic. And here is something important I always tell the people I work with. Understanding something does not make you immune to its effect. Sometimes, when we have never been in an unbalanced dynamic before, and we suddenly find ourselves wanting someone who did not particularly impress us at first, but who is now completely consuming our thoughts, we go looking for information. We start researching, and we land on concepts like intermittent reinforcement or attachment styles, and we say, aha, mystery solved. But knowing the name of what is happening to you does not undo what is happening. If you understand it but do not also begin acting differently, the effect remains. Think of cigarette packaging. It is right there in clear writing. The chemicals are listed. You can research exactly why those substances are addictive and say, now I understand how I got hooked. But does understanding that make someone quit? No. People continue despite knowing exactly what it costs them. The same is true with patterns that create attachment. You might recognize that you are not even attached to the person, but to the dynamic. You might even see the manipulation clearly. But recognizing it does not mean the attachment is gone, that the anxiety disappears, or that changing your behavior will be easy. You may even go through something that feels almost physical when you try to stop. But you begin the journey by taking the first step. So if today you are in a situation where you do not feel valued or appreciated equally, and you want things to change, before you act again out of an almost uncontrollable impulse driven by anxiety, or out of nostalgia, or out of longing for access to this person, or because you are daydreaming that they will send you a message or make you a plan, or that you will feel them close to you again, ask yourself the question: has there ever been someone in your life you started valuing more when you had not valued them before? Have you ever begun to appreciate the qualities of someone you had previously overlooked? Have you ever found yourself wanting to pursue someone you had not been pursuing? And if so, what actions preceded that change in you? Has it ever happened that someone's persistence, that feeling of knowing someone was even more devoted to you when you were not giving them much, actually made you value them more? If not, then learn from your own experience. Use your own life as a guide. Be your own teacher. We need to think carefully. First, it is never wise to act on impulse. And second, even when deciding how to act, we need to use our minds. We can apply intelligence in love too, even though it is hard for all of us, and I include myself. We can work on being smarter about it. This is not manipulation. This is not strategy in a cynical sense. It is simply being thoughtful and asking, what actually works? What is genuinely going to help me in the situation I am in right now? And when you operate from that logic, using that kind of reasoning, it also becomes much less of a struggle. That is why it matters that a video takes more than a minute and does not just shout at you. Because sometimes we watch short content where someone yells at us and tells us to love ourselves, and we feel a burst of energy in the moment. That is a short-lived emotional spike. In that moment, you feel ready. But you are not a primate in a cage. You are a person with the capacity to reason. And when that emotion fades, something else will creep in. Another feeling, another thought, a memory of this person, and off you go. But if you truly understand the reason behind your own behavior, if you have rationalized it properly and made it your own and found genuine meaning in it, you will not fill up with as much anxiety because you will understand that what you are doing is genuinely what serves you best. And that makes the whole thing so much easier. It really does. I hope this video truly helps you and that you enjoyed it. If so, and you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. You will not regret it. This is also a respectful space. You can leave comments and no one will ever come after you or speak badly to you because I personally make sure of that. There are wonderful people here who may well support you. We grow together in this community, so come join us. And until we meet again, same as always.